Hello and welcome. This is a video training on Facebook advertising. Today we're going to cover pixel magic. Can barely say it, I'm so excited. In fact, this is the second video in a series of training for Facebook ads to help you really learn the basics. I call this the beginner series training because really you need to start with the basics. And today we're going to dive into a very exciting topic, the Facebook pixel. I'm going to show you the power of the pixel. We're going to actually take a look at how we configure that, and also, of course, we want to see how do we use it. So example use of that. Now, just a quick reminder, anytime you deal with advertising ads, this just came up yesterday, again, where somebody had an issue with their Facebook account, with their advertising account, make sure you stay current on ever-changing policies, right? Facebook.com, policies, ads, as you see. Just a reminder, bookmark that one and make sure you read it if you haven't read it before. So, as I said, we're going to cover the power of the pixel, the Facebook pixel today. And the first question that comes up is, what is it? Well, it's just simply a piece of code, a little script that is placed in the header of every page on your website. And it allows optimization for conversions and detailed reporting. It's very cool, and really measuring effectiveness of your overall advertising. And if you're familiar with scripts, then this will be familiar to you. If not, just make sure that you follow this in a very intense way, because this is super important. And because you can take this data set that you'll get from it and make sure that it's shown to the right people. You can find new people, you can build advertising audiences. It's really like building your own custom email list here. And of course there's additional Facebook tools and opportunities to be unlocked. And ultimately we're all doing this to drive more sales. And the cool thing along with the custom audiences is that there's something called lookalike audiences. So imagine you had 100 people that had bought from you, for simplicity's sake. Well, you can use something called lookalike audiences, which basically, Facebook is saying, hey, I want to go in here and see if I can find you another 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 10,000. It expands that universe based on a certain pattern in the data. So what it looks like is here at the top, you can see kind of simple HTML code. It goes in the head section of your HTML. That's where you insert it, and that's what it looks like at the bottom there. And it's pretty simple, and you just follow the instructions, and if you can do it yourself, copy it straight into your WordPress site. You can use plugins for this, or talk to your webmaster to get this done. But it essentially has to go on every page on your website. So how do you set this up? Well, here's a URL for you. If you want to follow step by step, this is basically the Facebook pixel setup at the bit.ly account that you see right there. That's something that you could probably use after you've watched this video, just to kind of double check everything. But let me take you through it right now. So kind of the overall steps is you want to create that Facebook pixel. You want to add it to the website, as I mentioned, but then here's a critical one. Is it actually working? Well, it's a quick check you can do via Chrome, which you'll see in a second. So here's kind of the top level. I won't go through all of these, but essentially you just follow the steps. There's 5 steps here. Once you go to the Pixels tab in Ads Manager, just go through and follow the steps and name it, and then create pixel. Then it's going to ask you if you want to integrate here, and there's different ways you can do that. You can go in here and use the Tag Manager. You can manually install it, or use your webmaster or developer. So you have a couple of options, and the Tag Manager at the top is really recommended because basically, essentially, you get a container for that script, the pixel script, but also all your scripts. Anything else that you have, third-party, Google Analytics, etc., highly recommended you do that. So one of the ways that once you get this on your site that you can check that the pixel is actually firing and working is to install the Facebook Pixel Helper. And you can just type that right into Google, and then it'll come up number 1 here under the ads, and you click on that, install it, and it'll show up right at the top here. As you can see, this is actually from Facebook, a page I pulled there. On the developer's Facebook, there's a tag that shows up with a green number up there, the 22 in that example. In yours case, it's going to be 1 or 2 because we're not going to go in and do advanced pixel optimization or events tracking. So it's just going to be basic for you, but it's all you need. So here's a couple of examples from this. And over on the right is just some quick screenshot of the Pixel report showing that it's firing over the last few days here. But essentially, the top level steps is that you just go to the audiences section in your Facebook Ads Manager. You create a new custom audience, and then you can start tracking that conversion metric, which you'll see here in a second. And when you create it, it's going to ask you, what do you want to track? And you can upload, as I said, email accounts, CRM data. You can track your website traffic and other activities here. Typically, what you want to do is track both your CRM data and your website traffic. But you may want to just start with website traffic for now if you have a specific action that you want to track on a URL. In fact, here's what we did. Actually, I'm going to show you that example in a second. This is just kind of a blanket place for you to start entering data. So you have your pixel name, and then you can start adding attributes to that pixel in terms of what you want to track over time periods. You can name it. You can use inclusions and exclusions, which you'll see in a second here. But that's what it looks like. In fact, here's kind of an example of what we're tracking as far as a thank you page for a simple opt-in. So here we're basically adding a custom audience to say, listen, we want to track specifically everybody that came in and said thank you to the SEO guide. We ran a program for this just not too long ago, and so we wanted to track that very easily in our reporting. And in fact, here we can see inside the Ads Manager, for about $1,000, we got 222 leads here, subscribers and leads. And over there, a little bit towards the right next to the 1,054, you can see $4.75. Our goal was to get this under $5 CPA. And this is per SEO thank you page, right? So now in a simple report, I can see here's what I spent. Here's my impression. That's the impressions. That's the 17,474. And 222 is the lead count. And I think this was actually over about a month. So that's just one sort of add to a landing page to opt in. And so here I was able to create a custom audience to check this in a simple report. Now we can go a little more advanced here. And in fact, we start talking very quickly about retargeting. You can go in and you can actually specify. So the example in the workflow here is we had some people coming to our website landing page in specific, which is the SEO checklist. Well, we wanted to track that, but we also wanted to see specifically for that interest, who are the ones who did not opt in. So here I can say, specify all the people who came to the web page, the opt-in page, but they stopped there, right? So exclude people who visit any web page that meets the following rules. So anybody who didn't go to the SEO guide, thanks, right? So they went to the landing page, they didn't go to the thank you page, which means they did not opt in. Well, we can track this again over a time period. We'd like to extend this a little bit longer here. But essentially now what I can do is I can come back in and create an ad that says present a a friendly sort of follow-up ad that alerts that person to the fact that, hey, you did stop by our checklist, but you did not opt in. You did not get it. You may want to download it. In fact, if you download it now, we'll give you a bonus. Or if you download it now, you have the opportunity to make changes to your SEO that will affect the bottom line in the next X time frame. You don't have to be too hypey about this. This is just really a reminder, a teaser, a friendly outreach back out to the person who simply got busy or wasn't available to pursue this. And it's a powerful mechanism for you to draw visitors who basically came to your front door but didn't take action. Here you're nudging them to move forward. And there's many business cases for this. Of course, a very obvious one is the e-commerce kind of checkout series of pages and events. But there's many others here, and we're not going to go too complex on this here today because this is kind of a short video to take you through the power of the Pixel. But I hope you understand the power indeed of the Pixel, and this is what we've covered today. To understand that you have to get that onto your website and to every page, and that there's one pixel per account, right? So you basically create one master for your website, and then that you configure and set that up. And you start with the basics so that you can track that. And of course, we walked through a couple of case studies or examples there on how you can use that. But essentially, this video here is the second in the series, as I mentioned, and it's important because now we're really getting the foundational stuff ready so that in video 3 we can start putting all these pieces together, which is super exciting. Where we're actually putting together the ad component. We start looking at the landing page itself, which we'll see some examples of, and also kind of a follow-up strategy in terms of not only the custom audiences, as we've talked about, the pixel, but also some ideas for what you can do in a follow-up sequence. So this is the whole nurturing and relationship setting that is certainly very important, because as you know, it takes anywhere from 7 to 12 touch points for somebody to take action on something that really has to deal with your credit or their credit card, right? You know, opting in for a simple checklist and a guide, or a custom paper that's easily consumed is one thing. Handing over a credit card, that's a whole other ball game. So we're going to cover that, but I hope you enjoyed this. I always enjoy making these and have a lot of fun with them, as you can tell, and I hope you do too, and that you take action on this. If you haven't set this up, get it going. If you have it set up, then congratulations. But also, we're going to start, again, as I said, diving into a little more detail and then putting it all together. And as always, I'd like to end this with a big old thank you. And if you do need help, then go to bit.ly/Facebook input. Simple form there. Just enter your data points, and we'll see if we can help you. And that's about it for now. So have a great day, evening, or night. Yawn out.